Gallo seizes control of Ecuador, seemingly unwilling to stand by and watch as the relatively liberal government under Ayora's PLRE risk enfeebling Ecuador. Alberto Enriquez Gallo has launched a successful putsch in Quito. Having already dissolved the administration and created a new council of military advisors, the new military strongman has quickly begun embarking on a quest to purify Ecuador of alleged threats and opponents. Right, the other thing I need to do is assign more shipyards to actually, you know, repair. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to build some of these dockyards. The first International Congress, delegates from the socialist nations and political movements around the world gathered in Paris today for the latest in a series of world congresses. That was indeed a 25% stat loss, yes. So as much as I really want to go onto the Rotterdamsche Droogdokmaatschappij, which gives us 4 more dockyards, which is a huge number. It also makes our destroyers and submarines a hell of a lot better. So it's probably a good thing that we're not going for cruiser development. Because we really need to do this. I think I might do Aftermath of Black Monday, then the Droogdokmaatschappij, then back to the recovery. Because I really want those 4 dockyards. Black Monday shockwaves have hit the Dutch economy hard. It's clear that the government will be forced to take immediate and drastic action to avoid the economy breaking down completely. Legislate freedoms. Increases our stability gain for 180 days. You know what? I like this idea. Catholic faithful in Rome breathed a sigh of relief as the Sistine Chapel's chimney billowed forth white smoke. Pius the 12th, so it's Pius again. Or... Oh, we can't. We need to have at least 15% war support, which we don't have. We do, however, have free trade. Excellent. But I do really like the idea of grabbing as many of the legislate freedoms as we can early on. So we're going to do that. And the reason I think that that's a good idea is because this is basically going to increase our eventual cap. Because we'll be regaining a bunch of stability from other events, and once it hits 50%, we can no longer do it through decision. What's next? Dock workers going on strike? Now that would bite. Yeah, that would really bite. Speaking of which, did Black Monday affect the dockyards at all? Factory output, production camp, and stability. No, that's not dockyard output, that's factory output. Dockyards are fine. It's only the stability was reducing them. It's fine. Work as usual. No problem. The only problem is that dockyards are built slower because construction speed did go down. And Luca Sabini, thank you very much for the follow. Apologies, I missed that one earlier. Thank you. Economy has no effect on docks. I'm pretty sure it does. No, yeah, that's right, it doesn't. Which is why I'm building dockyards early on. However, general construction speed is reduced by Black Monday. Construction speed minus 60%. That's what I'm talking about. Civilian economy I know doesn't. Because you basically have a choice at the start of the game. Do you want to build dockyards or do you want to build infrastructure? In vanilla, infrastructure is generally the better idea because you also get more resources, as well as faster construction speed long term. But in Kaiserreich, I think there is a bit more of a choice. Dockyards can be good if you are going to be playing a naval nation. Though I'm not the biggest fan of Hearts of Iron 4, the unit having voice lines when you click on them is nice and something I'd like to see in other Paradox games. I agree. And the fact that they're also localized for a decent chunk of the nations, at least the majors, plus the Netherlands. It's like all of the major powers and the Dutch. I think this is actually something they did at one of the fan meets that Paradox ran, is if you had that accent, they would actually just record your voice line. So a bunch of this stuff isn't voice acted, it's fans. I think the Dutch might be why the Dutch have one. Okay, industry. Dispersed versus concentrated. Question here is, how often am I going to be changing industrial tax? And also, how likely are we to get bombed? Because the dockyard output's the same either way, so this does kind of affect us less. Oh, you get a conversion speed bonus for dispersed. I hadn't realised that. Wait, that's... I just realised I've been reading this wrong. Conversion speed is when you're doing a variant and you convert them to a new variant, isn't it? No, this is conversion. Which conversion is it? Is it both? Does it increase the speed that you change these around? Advancements in engineering allow us to fix the issues we found in previous models and update them to fit our current needs. This is equipment conversion, isn't it? It doesn't say equipment conversion, but it means equipment conversion. Wonder if the Swedes have voice lines. Don't know, actually. Yeah, I'm fairly sure it's equipment too. Is this also equipment? Because this would actually make... would it make sense for industry? I guess this is just conversion speed. In that case, yeah, disperse just gives you more bonuses. Alright, screw it, we're going to disperse this time. I don't often do conversion, because I have like all of the equipment in use at all times. Chat split 50-50 on it too. If someone wants to Google it, please do. Let me know a more definitive answer than I have given thus far. Soviet Russia has declared war in the Russian Republic. It's the Eternal War, which still never ended in the Britain game. Just 20 years ago, in the last years of the Welsh Creek, the Russian Empire collapsed, ripped apart by nationalist movements and divided between the Whites and the Reds. After a German intervention, the Republican government defeated the Bolsheviks, but it appears that the Russian revolutionary spirit was not extinguished. I was going to say, why is there one random submarine sailing around? Oh. You guys are done. Magnificent! And there it is, the aftermath to Black Monday, and we are back up to 42% stability. However, we can't take these, haha, until we've had the election, which is like a year away still. So let's continue with the Rotterdamsche Droogdokmaatschappij. The Rotterdamsche Droogdokmaatschappij is a dedicated submarine wharves which hosts talented engineers to provide us with the latest submarine designs and innovations. Furthermore, smallest surface ships can also be built at the shipyard, giving us exactly the ships we need and can afford. What did the others have? Naval production. Yeah, Wilton Feyenoord, which is armoured cruiser and cruiser production speed. And then Koninklijke de Schelde, which is carriers and battleships and dreadnoughts getting more armour. And also dockyards. So it's dockyards regardless. I mean, all three of them are pretty decent, to be fair. It's just that I feel like this gives more bonuses overall. Yeah, 100 free convoys. Nice. And there it is, ship a day tactics. Convoy raiding efficiency, nobody else gives that. Oh, these aren't actually locked for the focus. You just get them for free. So we're getting this one, which is the destroyer and submarine. And we could, if we wanted to, have the capital ship cruiser manufacturing. Although these bonuses are a lot smaller than this one. No, I think we want Fokker, because it's going to give us a lot of opportunities to get that. So it's going to be the Rotterdamsche Droogdokmaatschappij and Fokker. Alright then. I didn't want to make that joke effort, but that's precisely what I was thinking. Master in the Fjall, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Falling living standards. Ever since February the 3rd, Black Monday and the collapse of the Berlin stock market, the economy of the Netherlands has been suffering. Our reliance on Germany has resulted in many of the workers becoming unemployed as German companies choose to cut jobs in the Netherlands first, spreading syndicalist ideas amongst the population. As a result, the Social Democratic Workers' Party, or the SDAP, has been gaining many new members and its political power is increasing. Many other ideas have merit, but in order to pass them, we'd have to bring them into the governing coalition, a potentially dangerous option. This does not bode well. Even more stability lost, because of course, why not? Russia has declared war on Don Kuban, which is going to give the Soviets a bit of an opportunity. Although without a magnificent Union of Britain sending them free stuff, they're not going to be as potent as they were in a certain other game. Annie Kenny elected chairman of the TUC. So they've got Horner's ideas. I'm a little bit disappointed that the election is just like a complete reversal of what you actually want. Like, choosing Anne Kenny means that you get Arthur Horner's bonuses. I feel like Anne Kenny should also come with some, like, head of state bonuses. Just like Horner should get some head of state bonuses. It's kind of weird that they don't. You vote for Annie Kenny, which is awesome. Like, yay, we've got her in power. Oh, but we get Horner's bonus. I think they should both give bonuses. And probably as the head of state they get more. How much stability have I now lost? 35%? 25 from the original, so 31. Did we lose 35 from the original? This was 25. Plus 5 from that. No, we've lost 36% total. Although we've just gained 20 back. Plus the decision is getting us some more as well. And there, construction 1 is done. I would say starting on the naval bits, but I kind of don't want to do that until Rotterdamse Droogdokmaatschappij is finished. Because that gives us research time reduction, although not for doctrines. And also, we really do need to start working on the land doctrines. Okay, this is the other thing. What land doctrine are we going to go for? So, defense is grand battle plan, or mobile army is mobile warfare. We do have a lot of rubber. So, motorized and mechanized is going to be pretty good for us. Plus, we get the subsidized truck production, which is a motorized cost reduction. I guess part of the decision is going to be what factories do we have? So, towed artillery defense and soft attack, motorized hardness and max speed, motorized reliability and defense, motorized production. We could get 25% cheaper motorized. And then, like, tanks. That is a lot of motorized. Duff, Spijker, Trompenburg, and Den Oudsten and Domburg. Artillery Inrichtungen. That is a manufacturer. Which is this one. And it basically just gives us that for free. We can get it anyway. And then of course this does allow us to inundate. Which the mobile army doesn't. But the mobile army does allow us to get bikes. No medium tanks for the Dutch, no. So I think it's going to be a mobile army and we're going to go down the mechanized branch rather than the Blitzkrieg branch. It's kind of what this feels like. So we should probably start on the mobile warfare branch. Although we're going to need to find a way of importing all of our rubber from the East Indies. We're going to need some really long-range destroyers to cover that. 7 bike, 2 Katyusha divisions. It's tempting. Hold up, Dorman's focus has Naval Company Feyenoord. Through the power of football hooligans, you can win. Ajax all the way. Okay, so we've got the Rotterdamsche Dock Maatschappij now finished. So we can choose between the 2 different submarine classes, but I don't think we need to do that just yet. Convoy Defense Doctrine. That doesn't exist. Although I'm fairly sure Convoy Defense Doctrine means this. Or this. Or this. Why does trade interdiction have so many carrier things? Of course, trade interdiction doesn't have any escort bonuses at all. Which is going to be a problem. Because ordinarily I'd go trade interdiction, fantastic, goes excellently with Helfrich. But we also need escort protection because we are going to be importing stuff from the colonies. I'm trying to remember which of these 2 had the next best submarines. I suspect is actually Fleet and Being. The subs are definitely not going to be as good as these ones, but the main advantage of the trade interdiction is it means your surface ships are a lot better at trade interdiction. We don't need to do that. The submarines will. And the Fleet and Being escorts are definitely the strongest. Although the base strike meant no, because we're going to have good destroyers, not good cruisers, so we want Fleet and Being, which is a destroyer focus. Base strike is a cruiser focus. I think we're actually going to want Fleet and Being. There's no actual doctrine differences here. Unlike this, which is actually a bonus to Fleet and Being Doctrine, Helfrich doesn't have any doctrinal advantages. And same, base strike. So Helfrich is actually the most flexible. That's interesting. If we're going to go Fleet and Being, may as well make a Dreadnought flagship. That's the point. We need to start spending some of the command points to get the promotions on our officers. I especially want Helfrich to get as many submarine traits because I think it increases the chance of him getting more attack. And we're still like 9 months away from the next election, so we have got some time. The other thing is we could try and go for some of the Air Force related. The other thing we could do, well, we could still do that with close air support, is we go defense and then just blow the living daylights out of our opponents with close air support aircraft. Although to do that effectively will require a superiority. But we could, weirdly enough, add AA to our divisions, now that we've seen how effective that is. I mean, we've already started on mobile warfare, but we could easily change it. It really depends who we're going to be fighting. Well, I mean, either way, we're going to end up at war with one of these two. Ultimately. I suspect it's probably going to be these guys, because it's always these guys. The real question is whether we're going to have Belgium on our side or not at that time. Because I do want to try and rush the Belgian stuff if we can. I'm still completely torn on this, and it's a big issue. Yeah, there are a couple of Grand Battle Plan bonuses. There are just so many more motorized bonuses than defense. We could still have infantry units. In fact, those infantry units are going to have a ton of organization. And possibly even more mobility if we equip them with motorized, seeing as they're 25% off. And inundation lines is just these provinces, I think. We're going to start in the Dutch army. Oops, didn't read that. The Netherlands does not need anyone to tell them about how to manage an effective military. All the same, with the fell winds of conflict on the horizon, it's important that we give greater thought to the long-term future of our army. Armed neutrality, that's our doctrine. That was actually historically the Dutch doctrine. We're going to be neutral, but we're going to have a massive army just to make sure that we can stay neutral. Poland falls to nationalism. After the complete collapse of the Polish government following the Black Monday disaster, Poland found itself in complete anarchy with many different political factions vying for power in the vacuum of the old kingdom. This fighting has come to a close today as Polish nationalist forces something. Claim victory. Manuel Carles assumes full control of Argentina. When Manuel Carles executed a coup against the Argentinian state on Christmas 1935, the nation was torn apart in a vicious struggle for control over the presidency. The navy and the army fought, and the army won. Coup d'etat in Siam. News emerged from Bangkok today that a group of officers in intelligentsia, calling themselves the Karna Rastadon, or the People's Party, have successfully seized control of the government. Concerning. I'm really tempted to ready the battery ships. We lose the two of these. And we gain a bunch of forts. Oh, actually, are you guys trained? You are. Opening of the Walbrug. The ferry over the Waal River was one of the Netherlands' busiest ferries. Recognizing the limited capacity, the municipal authorities of Nijmegen had started the construction of the Walbrug in 1931. On the 16th of June 1936, the finished bridge was finally officially opened by Her Majesty the Queen. Hurrah! Huzzah! Right, I need to promote Helfrich. You, old chap, old thing, or being, need to be a silent hunter. And also, probably, at least two of these. Torpedo cooldown, or torpedo hit chance. go with the cooldown. Can't quite afford torpedo expert, though we want that too. Although eventually we will want to have you being a concealment expert from superior tactician, but that's going to take you a while to get, so that's fine. Then the other thing is, what planes do we currently have? We have 25 fighters. Mechanical computing is done. Radio? Or naval doctrine? I think we're going to start on the naval doctrine. There are actually a couple of other things we also need to research, like AA, so I can actually start producing it and putting it in our units. I'm sold on the power of AA, especially when you're not going to have air superiority. 15% war support, that's true, we do. Early mobilization it is then. Huzzah! And some of the destroyers are being done, which is good. The Flemish resistance calls for aid. Backed into a corner by superior Flemish Walloon forces, the remnants of the Flemish resistance have contacted us to request intervention in the Second Belgian Revolution. They are willing to support reunification with the Netherlands should we assist them, and are hoping for a peaceful resolution to the conflict through our influence. Stay out of German affairs, or hell yeah, we're going to help you. We're going to support the Flemish resistance. Heartbreak ID, thank you very much for... Oh, Heartbreak Kid! Wow, I misread that completely. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the Maudlings, thank you very, very much. And Vile Muffin, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Wallonia has joined the Reichspact, but not the Flemish. Am I about to be thrown into a war here? Am I about to be fighting against the Germans? They are in fact a Dutch puppet. Just straight up, like that. Interesting. I think we might need to go and do this real quick. You know, just in case I'm going to end up fighting against the Germans already.